If Outlander's first season holds a special place in your heart, baby, Blood of My Blood is definitely your cup of tea. Starz has surprised us with 2 episodes at once, one of them being 80 minutes long, and I couldn't be happier. So today, we're going to talk about what's coming in episode 3, and you know what? It's going to be incredible. Before getting into episode 3, I just want to talk about the couples for a second, because in the first 2 episodes, we got to see how they met. And while I really enjoyed Julia and Henry's kind of slow burn romance, Ellen and Brian's was a bit funny to me. It felt so rushed that I couldn't get into their story. Like, for God's sake, you saw a man, met him at some place right after saying goodbye. And it's been like, what, 2 hours? Why would you go on and say you couldn't get him out of your mind? Girl, I'm still thinking about that pizza I had yesterday. Of course, you're not going to stop thinking about your crush immediately. Then you hold hands and start thinking about how you'll make it work. How could you trust this man? It really didn't sound like Ellen. And I'm not going to lie, even though I know they had this crazy love for each other, their scene kind of failed to serve. I loved Claire and Jamie's romance better. And Julia and Henry's, amazing. Like, all those letters falling for each other slowly without even seeing or hearing each other, that was amazing. Now that I got it off my chest, let's talk about episode 3. Titled School of the Moon, episode 3's synopsis reads, as the oath-taking ceremony to determine who will be Laird of Clan Mackenzie approaches, Ellen hatches a new plan to protect herself and her family. Julia is forced to make an impossible choice. At first, that title didn't make any sense to me, so I looked into it and found out it's about how the Cateran warriors trained and carried out nighttime cattle raids by the light of the moon. Apparently, this whole thing went on for generations throughout the 17th and 18th centuries, and in time, it became a cultural thing. So I assume in episode 3, we'll have that tradition on screen. And knowing Outlander, I feel like they'll nail it. But what will be important in this scene? Like, it has to be important, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have named the episode after it. So here's my idea. As the synopsis suggests, the oath-taking ceremony is approaching. I think this cattle raiding thing might happen right before it as a part of the ceremony. I'm not sure if it's historically correct or would make any sense, but I can't think of any better answer than that. During this tradition, while Colum and Dougal are distracted, we might see Ellen sneaking out of her castle and meeting Brian. Because in the latest episode, Colum decided to wed Ellen to Malcolm Grant to fix the clan's relationship, and Ned was the one who let Henry know about the offer. Since Ned didn't want it to happen, my theory is that he'll find a way to warn Ellen beforehand, one way or another. And when he does, she'll try to figure things out and fix the relationship without having to marry Malcolm. But it feels like it's not going to work, because in the episode 3 trailer, we see that the word is out. Murtaugh tells Brian that Ellen will marry Malcolm, and they both look devastated. I feel so sorry for my boys, but worry not, Brian. She'll find her way back to you. When she meets Brian, I believe the two will come up with a plan and eventually run away, but I don't think that'll happen in episode 3. What about Julia? Well, both her and her husband Henry are hard workers. The second they landed in the 1700s, they both found a job in a day. And while Julia wasn't really willing to work, let's just say they're both employed now, and it's been a month. Now, the thing I don't understand is this. Julia's hands are tied. She's basically sold to the Frasers. But what about Henry? He has a powerful position right now, so I don't understand why he didn't use it to find Julia as soon as possible. Thankfully, in the episode 3 trailer, we see Ned introducing a wealthy woman to Henry, and it seems like she's going to help him find her. I guess we'll see how that'll turn out. Okay, at this very point, I'd like to give a break and just say this one thing. Overall, I think the show looks pretty promising, and the casting is top-notch. I'm just not sure if I really like the way things are going right now. Like, I wasn't expecting a jump scare with a Julia scene at the Frasers' house, you know? Right now, the show goes back and forth, giving us tons of flashbacks so that we don't miss anything. but it just seems a bit confusing and complex. I prefer having a linear timeline. But I should also admit that if they dived right into it without any dragging, it means that this season will have lots of action and different storylines, which honestly sounds kind of amazing. Back to the topic, I still don't understand how Henry was able to time travel. Does that mean Henry and Julia are related to each other somehow? Plus, he didn't have a visible stone on his clothes or finger. So what's the deal here? Please enlighten me, because I can't find any answers other than that there are different ways to time travel in this universe, and Henry and Julia are probably related. As the synopsis suggests, Julia is forced to make an impossible choice. Now, I wonder what that might be. Is it about having to sleep with Brian's father to protect Brian or something? Will she make some plans with Brian and try to run away again? Anything is possible, and right now, she's not safe in that house. Seeing a disgusting man in the Fraser family broke my heart. But anyways, I don't want to talk about this. In the episode 3 trailer, we see Julia with Mistress Porter, and she asks if she has anything to confess. It's probably about the map she stole earlier, but I can't be sure. Even though she seems nice, she kind of scares me. She's no ally for sure. Okay, now it's your turn. Let me know what you think about the first 2 episodes, as well as sharing your theories about episode 3 in the comments below. After that, you can go and watch this video next.